When the fire is low and the night is quiet, the ancestors speak. Not always in thunder, not always in storms, sometimes in silence, sometimes in stories, stories of those who were doubted before they were destined, stories of those who were broken before they became unshakable. Tonight, we remember one of them, a child who could not stand in a world that expected him to rise. A name that would one day echo across kingdoms, Sundiata Keita. Before he became a king, before he became a legend. He was a child surrounded by whispers. Long before his birth, a prophecy had already been spoken. A great ruler would rise, a unifier, a builder of empires, a king whose strength would shape the future. But the prophecy came with a truth many did not understand. Greatness would not come easily. When Sundiata was born into the royal family of the Mali Empire, expectations filled the air. The court waited, the people watched. But as time passed, something became clear. The child could not walk. While other children ran freely through the village, a Sundiata remained on the ground. He crawled, he struggled, he watched the world from below, and slowly doubt began to grow. Whispers filled the palace. How can this child be the one? Is this the prophecy we were promised? Even those closest to power began to question. But there was one person who did not. His mother. She saw beyond what others could see. She saw strength hidden beneath struggle. She saw destiny hidden beneath delay. While others saw weakness, she saw a storm waiting to rise. Years passed. The whispers grew louder. Mockery replaced hope. Children laughed, courtiers doubted, and the weight of expectation turned into pressure. But deep within Sundiata, something was forming, something silent, something patient, something powerful. And then one day everything changed. He asked for an iron rod. It was a strange request. Some laughed, some were confused, but his mother did not hesitate. She gave it to him. In that moment, the world held its breath. Slowly, carefully, Sundiata placed the rod against the ground. His arms trembled. His body resisted. Pain surged through him, but he did not stop. He pushed and pushed and pushed again. The iron rod bent beneath the force of his effort, but still he rose. For the first time he stood, not as a boy overcoming weakness, but as a force revealing itself. The laughter stopped. The whispers faded. Silence took their place, because in that moment, everyone understood this was not ordinary. This was destiny, but destiny does not arrive without resistance. After the death of his father, the kingdom fell into uncertainty. Power shifted, enemies emerged, and Sundiata, along with his family, was forced into exile. He was no longer surrounded by royalty, no longer protected by the palace. He became a traveler, a wanderer, moving across lands unfamiliar and unforgiving. But exile did not destroy him. It refined him. Every hardship became a lesson. Every rejection became strength. Every obstacle became preparation. He learned the ways of different lands. He studied people. He understood leadership. And slowly others began to notice him, not because of his title, but because of his presence. He was calm. He was strong. He was thoughtful. People began to follow him, not out of obligation, but out of belief. He was no longer just a prince. He was becoming a leader. And as he grew, so did the call of his homeland. The land he had left behind was no longer what it once was. It had fallen under the rule of a powerful and feared enemy. A king surrounded by mysticism and control. A ruler who governed through fear. The people suffered. The kingdom weakened, and the memory of what once was began to fade. But Sundiata had not forgot, and when the time came he returned, not as the child who crawled, not as the boy who was doubted, but as a man forged by struggle. Warrior shaped by destiny, a leader ready to reclaim what was lost. The battle that followed was more than physical, it was symbolic. A clash between fear and purpose, between oppression and hope, between doubt and belief. The ground shook with the movement of warriors, the air filled with tension, and at the center of it all stood Sundiata. Calm, focused, unshaken, the fight was fierce, but destiny does not hesitate. Sundiata overcame. He defeated the enemy. He reclaimed the land, and in that victory, something greater was born, unity. Where there had been division, he brought connection. Where there had been fear, he restored strength. Where there had been silence, he awakened identity. From that moment, the Mali Empire began to rise into one of the greatest empires in African history. But Sundiata did not rule through fear. He ruled through wisdom. He established laws. He created systems of governance. He ensured stability. He protected his people. He understood something many leaders do not. Power is not in control. It is in responsibility. He built not just an empire, but a foundation, a legacy, a story that would be told for generations. And yet, what makes his story truly powerful is not just what he became, but how he began. They once saw a child who could not walk. They did not see the king who would unite kingdoms. They saw weakness. They did not see resilience. They saw delay. They did not see preparation. But Sundiata saw something different. He did not allow his beginning to define his ending. He did not allow doubt to become truth. He did not allow struggle to become identity. And because of that, he rose, not just for himself, but for his people, for his land, for his legacy. Today, his story still echoes, not just as history, but as a message. A reminder that your current condition is not your final form, that your struggle is not your limitation. It is your preparation. That greatness does not always arrive early. Sometimes it arrives exactly when it is ready. And when it does, it changes everything. The story of Sundiata Keita is not just about a king. It is about becoming. It is about rising. It is about understanding that within every challenge there is something waiting to awaken. So when you hear his name, do not just remember a ruler. Remember the child who refused to stay down. Remember the journey. Remember the transformation. Because somewhere within you there is a strength like his, waiting, growing, preparing, and one day rising. Welcome to Ixixi Ancestral Echoes, where the ancestors do not just tell stories, they remind you who you are.